Hello everyone, I'm Meghana Manjunath, and today I'd like to share one of my experiences with you guys. So, for the past 2 years of my life, I was in Italy pursuing my master's degree, and during this time, I got to travel Europe a lot. And I'm a person who loves to travel. So, one of the things that was in my bucket list was to see the northern lights. And my best friend Gaurav, who was also pursuing his master's during this time, told me that two of his friends are coming from India uh, to visit Norway to see the northern lights, and we can, join them if you want. I was super excited. And we started immediately looking at the flight tickets and the stay and everything. And at the beginning, I was a little skeptical because it was quite expensive, and I thought, okay, should we go ahead with it or not? But I was graduating in a month, and I didn't really have plans to settle in Europe for a long time. So I thought to myself, okay, if I start working, I'll never get to travel so much again, and now or never. Let this be like a graduation present for me. So we booked the tickets and everything, and we landed in this city called Tromso, where you get to see the lights, more often. So as soon as we landed, it was around 2 in the afternoon, but it looked like it was like around 6 in the evening. So basically Tromso lies in the Arctic Circle. So what happens is during winter you hardly see the sunlight. Maybe morning, 2 hours you can see, but it still looks like it's early morning. But otherwise it's dark throughout the day. And in summers, which I would like to experience someday, it never gets dark. Like even in midnight you can see the sun. So I was already intrigued by this city because there was like snow everywhere, and it was during Christmas, so it was all there were lights everywhere, and Christmas decorations and everything. So already the city looked beautiful. And then for the northern lights, we thought that we will go through a tour guide, because it was the first time for us. And the thing about northern lights is that it's very unpredictable. You never know when exactly it's going to happen or where exactly it's going to happen. So we thought, okay, it's better to go under guidance. So we booked this tour guide where I think around 15 of us were in a minivan, and they took us away from the city. So another thing about northern lights is that it can't be clearly seen, in this inside the city. So they took us away from it, almost like I think 50 to 100 kilometers. They drove us away from the city lights in order to see it more clearly. And the northern lights, what you see in the pictures is quite bright, but for us in real, it's not that bright, because our eyes, like the human eyes, are not meant to see so well in the dark. So for us it doesn't really look that bright. But since the people of Tromso are in the dark almost like more than half the year, our guide could see that at a particular place that the lights have started to form. So he stopped us there, and we built this bonfire and everything, and we were all sitting around it and waiting for the lights to show up, basically, since it was not very clear to us yet. And even otherwise, the sky looked so beautiful because it was so clear, and there were literally thousands of stars. And I even got to see a shooting star, which I'd never seen before. And it happened so quickly that at the beginning I was not even sure of it, but the tour guide said, yes, you do see a lot of shooting stars here. And basically Tromso is surrounded by mountains, and we saw that from one of the mountain ranges, we could see a light constantly coming down in a speed, and we were wondering what it was. Since there were no roads there, it could not be a car light or a bike light or something. And when we asked our tour guide about this, he told that yes, some of the people are daring enough to ski during the night. Like they were literally skiing down the mountain when it was completely dark, with just those headlights on top of them. So this is some things that they do just to get out of boredom, because being in dark throughout the day is something that a lot of people can go into depression, so they try to keep themselves entertained in these ways. And as we were talking about all these stories, we slowly started to see the lights forming. In the beginning it was just like white cloud, but as our eyes started to get adjusted to the night, we could see the light, and it is something that is indescribable. I know I'm trying to put it into words, but it is not something that I can describe, because it was just one of the most beautiful experiences in my life, which is too good. And we were just there, surrounding the bonfire and looking at the lights forming above us, and our tour guide was telling about all these stories, because now we know why exactly the lights form. But a few years ago people didn't exactly know why it's happening, and there are a lot of legends and stories as to why it happens, and he was telling us about all these stories and everything. um, and then there was also this couple, a couple from Spain, who were married for like almost 9 years, and it was their dream to come to this place. And the guy, he had got a ukulele, and he started singing Despacito, since it's a quite famous song. And though none of us knew the lyrics to rest of the song, whenever the Despacito started playing, we were also singing along. And when they told me that they have been waiting for so many years to see the lights, and I was there at the at 24 years old, and I'm getting to do something like this, I was just so grateful for what I have. And traveling has actually taught me so many lessons that I'm going to carry throughout my life. One of them is that whenever I used to travel anywhere in Europe, I would be filled with gratitude, because it is a dream of so many to do it, and it was my dream to do it, and I was so grateful that I'm getting to live this life. So this was one such experience in my life which I'm never going to forget, and I'm so glad I booked those flight tickets. Thank you, Gaurav, for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and thank you so much for listening.